Good morning. First and foremost, I have to thank everybody at Buttonwood Beach who came out on Saturday and supported me in my first DJ appearance. And I want to thank the Leister family for trusting me with the music for their daughter's 15th birthday party. It was a really amazing time for me. I have so much respect for DJs. I still can hardly speak. It's so fun. It's fun to do. It's hard work. And all DJs need to be given a lot more respect because it's a lot harder than it looks. It's not just push a button and let the music play. It's listening to what the people that are there want and then trying to make sure that they are happy with what they hear and that they're up on the dance floor. And it was such a warm and wonderful experience for me to watch people dancing and partying and having a really good time. And I was providing that for them. So it was a really good time. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for all the congratulations and the well wishes. And I appreciate it. And I hope I get to do it again. I'm looking forward to it. I learned a lot. I know where I can improve. There's always room for improvement. And so the next time I do it, I will be better prepared. It was a specific party, so I had requests from my clients who were the birthday girl and her family, and I wanted to make sure that she heard everything she wanted to hear. But we also tried to make sure that the requests that we got were also played and that people had a good time. And I think all in all they did. So thank you for that. So now the topic of today's show is called Stand and Deliver. And yes, it is about the NFL and possibly other sports teams who are choosing to kneel during the national anthem. And look, my husband and his father, my father-in-law, were at the Philadelphia Eagles game on Sunday. It was a dream of a lifetime. My husband had always, since the day I met him, said, I want to take my dad to a live Eagles game. And boy, did he pick a good one. It was a great game. But my husband said the one thing that he was most inspired by and affected by as a Marine, as a proud American, was when they pulled the flag out in the beginning of the game over the field, when they did the flyovers. He said the whole stadium shook and he had a lump in his throat. And when they sang the national anthem, and my husband and my father-in-law stood as proud Americans and put their hands over their heart and sang their hearts out for our country. Not for Donald Trump, not because they agree with everything that's going on in our country right now, but because they're Americans. And they support our country and what it stands for. Now, I want to start a debate on this topic because there's a lot of disagreement. And remember, this all started with this Colin Kaepernick. And he said he did it because of cops shooting black people in his community. Okay. Well, it comes to happen that you need to know the messenger before you accept the message. It turns out that Colin Kaepernick is not even registered to vote. And according to what I have read in many different places online and heard on television, he has never voted in an election. And you know what we say on this show? If you don't show up, if you don't vote, you can't complain. You cannot complain. Every time you have the opportunity to go into a polling place and cast a vote, that is when your voice is heard. Now, some of you may not believe that, whatever you want to hear about, oh, it's voter discrimination or there's problems with the election. So what? When you go into that voting booth and you push the button or you mark your choice, then you have a right to complain about what happens after. I have a right to complain about what's going on in my country. I have a right to complain about the way Donald Trump is shaming our country around the world. You know why I have that right? Because I stood in line on November 8th, 2016, and I cast my vote. And I voted for Hillary Clinton. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I voted for President Obama twice. So yes, I have a right to complain about Obama. And I do. I did not like what happened with Obamacare. And I have the right to complain because I voted for him. And shame on him for fooling me. Because I thought Obamacare was going to be great. But because I go into that voting booth, and that's where I make my stand, I have a right to complain when I don't agree with what's going on in my country. Here's what I don't have a right to do. I don't have a right to shit on my country. To shit on the wonderful millions of people that sit in those stands at football games every week that pay a lot of money, and trust me, a lot of money for tickets. To watch these guys get millions of dollars to throw a ball and run around on a field for 2 hours and have them shit on what the millions of their fans believe in. Now, you don't have to sing the national anthem. You don't have to put your hand over your heart. But you really should stand. Stand not because you don't like some of the things going on in your country or in your community, but stand for those who stand with you, who actually agree with you until you shit on them. Because you see, my husband doesn't want black Americans being gunned down by bad police officers. He doesn't agree with that. He thinks it's horrible. It's a tragedy when young people lose their lives because of a rogue police officer. He agrees with that something needs to be done. But when he sees an entire league of millionaire football players shitting on what he fought for as a Marine, what we believe in, our brave men and women fighting overseas, putting their lives at risk every day for us, and the good cops, the good ones who go to work every day and their families don't know if they're coming home. When you see these millionaire football players who, if they weren't playing ball, guess where they'd be? Well, who knows? Who knows? Because they barely got through college, some of them. Have you ever heard them actually talk? See, they say they have freedom of speech, but they're not speaking. And I'm not trying to be snarky here. So put your thumbs away. I'm not racist, first of all. And I am not trying to say that football players are stupid. But I have heard some of them actually try to put sentences together, and it doesn't work really good. So it's a good thing they can play ball, or they'd probably be on welfare. With their 6 or 7 kids they had to 6 or 7 different women. I'm sorry. But that's what I see. We see Ray Caruth from Carolina Panthers in jail because he got one chick pregnant, was paying child support to her. But then when he got the second one pregnant, he said, I ain't paying no more child support. Let's just kill the bitch. And he did kill his girlfriend, but the baby's alive. And he's in jail for the rest of his life. So again, and you know why he was upset was because he got hurt. And he had nothing to back him up. He did go to college, but when he got hurt and maybe couldn't play football anymore and the millions were going to stop coming in from throwing the ball, oh my God, what am I going to do? Can't play football, I can't earn a living. So see, these people aren't speaking. So this isn't freedom of speech. They're not speaking. They're kneeling. Or they're putting a fist up. Or they're basically saying, fuck you, America. The America where I can make millions of dollars, more money than anyone in my family has ever seen before, because I can play a game. And those fans that are sitting in those stadiums, those veterans that have season tickets that pay thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets and go every week to support their team, to support these players, they're saying fuck you when they kneel during the national anthem. Your fans, NFL players, are veterans. They're patriots. Their fathers and grandfathers served in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, the Gulf War. Some of the people that come to see you and pay hundreds of dollars for tickets are active duty military serving our country. And when you take that knee, you are saying, fuck you to them. You're not helping your community. You want to help your community. You want to make a change. Go into your communities. Talk to the young people, to your young fans, who you're supposed to be a role model for. Tell them how to properly react when they come in contact with authority figures, whether it be a police officer or a school teacher. Tell them how to properly respect authority, to respect adults. And yes, we have problems with rogue police officers. There are bad apples in every bunch. But by taking a knee during a football game, you're getting paid to be part of. And you're getting paid well. You're not changing anything. What you're doing is making people think, wait a minute, maybe you're the problem. Maybe we should just ignore you. And I've learned this by doing this show and by some of the things I wrote this summer, which is going to be actually the first show of our new season in November. I'm going to talk about what I've learned this summer, about the shows and about what I post on Facebook and about how it is perceived by other people and how you have to think about that. Because there are people that hate me who don't know me because of one show, because of one thing that I wrote. And I didn't present it the proper way, and it didn't come off well. And now they hate my guts. And yet, when I meet people on the beach, they shake my hand because they got it. But if I offended one person because my comments didn't come off right, or the way I chose to use my First Amendment right was inappropriate in some way in their mind, then I deserve their hate. I've earned it. Because I made a mistake. And mistakes can be corrected. Apologies can be made. Things can change. People can change. You know, I'm going to use this analogy, is that if you don't like going to church, which as a child I hated going to church, but my mother made me go to church every Sunday. And our church was a long church. It was 2 hours long. And basically, I tuned out. I didn't care. I didn't listen. I didn't participate. But when it was time to stand up, I stood up. When it was time to kneel, I kneeled. Now, I didn't pray. I didn't sing the songs. I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do. I did not participate in the Greek liturgy during church. That was my little personal, I don't believe in this, I don't want to be here, and I'm not going to participate. But never did I refuse to respect those around me who did believe in that church service, who were participating. I just remained silent, but when I was supposed to kneel, I kneeled, and when I was supposed to stand, I stood. Did my cross when I was supposed to do my cross, and that was it. Sometimes I didn't do my cross either. So what? But never did I disrespect the other people around me that believed in what they were hearing from the pulpit. So look, once again, and I want to congratulate the Pittsburgh Steelers guy. I don't know his name. I forget his name, but the Pittsburgh Steelers decided they would not even bring their team out onto the field until the national anthem was over. But this one guy, because he's in the Army Reserves, he serves his country. He had balls. He stood up. He went out to the beginning where they come out of the tunnel, and he put his hand over his heart, and he sang the national anthem. He went against all his brothers on his team and said, look, you have the right to not come out on the field, which actually I think is better. If you're going to disrespect the country that gives you the ability to make all this money for playing a game, don't come out. Okay, don't come out. Because a lot of these players were booed by people in the stands who were so offended by their total disrespect for the America that made their dreams come true. But this dude said, you know what, guys? I'm a team player. I love you guys. You're my brothers. I have your backs on the field, but I serve this country. And I'm going out there and I'm going to sing the national anthem. Because to me, it means something. And he's cool. Again, you kids out there, I'm going to share this with the kids. Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, just because everybody else on the team is doing something, doesn't mean you have to do it too. Because it's your mirror you look in every day. It's your face that stares back at you, not your teammates. And I have another message for the NFL players who think that by taking a knee or disrespecting the national anthem means that they're exercising some sort of free speech or that it's going to make a difference in their communities. It's not. It's not. See, because you don't have to stand, but what you really should do with all your millions of dollars is deliver. If it's that important to you, then deliver. Go into your communities. Make a difference. Speak out. Go into the voting booth and cast a vote. Make your voice heard. Because when you're just kneeling on AstroTurf for what, 4 minutes while they sing the national anthem, you're forgotten. Yeah, we're talking about you, but we don't care because you didn't say anything. You just shit on a lot of really good people. Millions, actually. And you're showing the rest of the world how disrespected our country is by her own people. You don't have to like Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump. You don't have to like the police. But this is America. This is a national anthem that we sing in solidarity, not as blacks or whites or Jews or Muslims or Christians or Wiccans or gay or straight. We sing it as Americans. And you football players need to remember and ask yourselves, if you couldn't play football, what would you be doing right now? Would you be running for Congress to make a difference? Would you be out in your communities? Would you be becoming a police officer so you could tell people how to do it right? Would you be taking an underprivileged teenage kid in a gang that's carrying a gun that points at a police officer? Would you be taking him under your wing and teaching him how to respect himself and respect authority? Or would you just be making babies and sitting on welfare? Living in the projects. I mean, seriously. If you didn't have football in America, what would you be doing? You better thank your lucky stars every freaking day that you live in a country where you get the opportunity to refuse to honor your country, that pays you millions of dollars to play a game. And you better hope that enough of your fans don't decide to stop buying tickets and stop buying jerseys and stop paying for NFL Network and decide to watch This Is Us or The Voice instead of football. That should be your prayer right now tonight. I hope we debate this. I'd like to hear your comments on this topic. I feel very strongly about it. I am all First Amendment all the way. Freedom of speech. So if these dudes want to come out and make a speech or come on this show and do an interview with me, I'm here. You know how to find me. Speak. Good boys. Speak. Kneeling and refusing to sing your national anthem or refusing to participate, you're not changing anything. You're just making people angry. And we're a show about love shows and grows. So it's going to be more love, less hate, and more compromise. More thinking before you hit send. More thinking before you open your mouth. And again, NFL guys, please go to the polls. Vote. Maybe if Kaepernick had voted for Hillary Clinton, that one vote would have won the election. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know where he lives. Maybe one of the states he lived in was one of those states that went for Trump that shouldn't have. Who knows? But he didn't bother to show up. But he has to show up every Sunday. And that's where he decides to make his stand. And it's just not the right place or the right time. Let me know what you think. You know I love y'all. And wow, what a great weekend. Thank you again to everybody who supported DJ PKL. And we will see you at the next show. Love shows and grows. God bless America. America. We are all Americans. And that's what we salute when we sing that beautiful anthem and put our hands over our heart. Political Paula, out.